Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started. During last week's episode of WWE SmackDown, it was announced that a transfer window is officially underway. General managers Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce will make roster changes as Monday Night Raw prepares to move to Netflix in the coming weeks. Several stars are contemplating their future as a result. During this week's episode of SmackDown, Santos Escobar and Legado del Fantasma approached Nick Aldis to discuss their status. Escobar accused Aldis of favoritism and hinted they might be better off elsewhere. The 40-year-old then walked away while making a call to Adam Pearce, possibly to explore a move to Monday Night Raw. In the same segment, Carmelo Hayes walked up to Aldis. The former NXT champion appeared confident ahead of his match against a mystery opponent, which was announced last week. However, his confidence quickly faded when Braun Strowman's music hit. The monster among men was revealed as his surprise opponent. Nick Aldis has been in discussions with various WWE superstars since the transfer window was announced, including World Heavyweight Champion Gunther and Judgment Day's Dominic Mysterio. It now seems that Braun Strowman might be Aldis' first major acquisition during the transfer window, moving from Raw to SmackDown. The arena was buzzing with excitement, the air thick with anticipation as the SmackDown roster prepared for another thrilling night. But backstage, something far more volatile was about to unfold. The echoes of heated discussions between WWE officials and superstars were about to shatter the calm before the storm. Nick Aldis, the recently appointed SmackDown general manager, walked briskly down the corridor, his crisp suit tailored perfectly, his confidence radiating with each step. He had recently been brought in to tighten the ship and make bold decisions for the brand. His experience and track record were unparalleled, but not everyone was convinced that his vision was aligned with theirs. Adam Pearce, who had previously been at the helm as WWE senior official, was still a fixture on the SmackDown team, his influence lurking in the shadows. While Aldis had taken the reins, Pearce still held sway behind the scenes, a man of power in his own right. But their alliance had been strained ever since Aldis' arrival, and it was only a matter of time before their differences came to a head. Tonight, it seemed, would be the night. As Aldis entered his office, he was greeted by the unexpected sound of a commotion coming from outside the door. His brow furrowed as he moved to investigate. The source of the noise came into view, and there stood one of SmackDown's top stars, an imposing figure in the WWE universe, none other than Drew McIntyre. His towering presence filled the hallway, his eyes burning with fury as he glared at the walls around him. Aldis approached cautiously. "Drew?" he asked, a mixture of surprise and confusion in his voice. McIntyre whipped around, his face a mask of frustration. "This isn't working, Nick," he spat, the words biting with the venom of betrayal. "I've had enough of being held back by the nonsense that's been going on around here." Aldis raised an eyebrow, trying to maintain control of the situation. "I don't understand. What are you talking about?" "I'm talking about the mess you've been making with this brand." McIntyre's voice boomed, the anger now dripping from every word. "You and Pearce think you can run this place like some kind of dictatorship, calling the shots without considering the wrestlers who have given everything for SmackDown. And now I'm sick of it." Aldis was taken aback, though he quickly regained his composure. "Drew, I think you're misunderstanding things. I'm here to make SmackDown better, to give everyone an opportunity. But you're not helping the situation with this attitude." McIntyre's lip curled into a snarl. "An opportunity? What opportunity? I've been busting my back for years, and I'm treated like some mid-carder. How about you and Pearce start respecting the talent on this roster instead of playing your little political games?" Nick Aldis straightened up, his eyes narrowing as the intensity of the conversation grew. "You're speaking out of line, Drew. You may be one of the top stars here, but don't think for 1 second that I won't remind you of your place. I don't tolerate insubordination." McIntyre stepped closer, towering over Aldis. "You think you can scare me? I've taken on every challenger this company has thrown at me. You think I'll back down because of some corporate power struggle? No, I'll take my future into my own hands." He turned abruptly, grabbing his bag. "I'm done playing nice. If things don't change around here, if you and Pearce keep making decisions that benefit no one but yourselves, then I'll walk out. You can kiss this brand goodbye." Aldis, though visibly shaken, stood his ground. "I don't think you're in a position to make demands, Drew." McIntyre shot him a glare that could cut through steel. "You don't get it, Nick. I'm not here for a paycheck or a title shot. I'm here to be respected. And if that means walking away from SmackDown, then so be it. I'll leave, and I won't look back. I'm not going to let you two ruin everything I've worked for." Aldis' face hardened, but before he could respond, McIntyre stormed out, the door slamming behind him. The sound of his footsteps echoed through the hallway, a reminder that this situation was far from over. As the tension in the air lingered, Aldis pulled out his phone, dialing a number. He waited for the connection to ring, his jaw tight, his mind racing. The phone clicked, and the voice on the other end was unmistakable. "Adam, it's Nick. We need to talk. Now." Meanwhile, Adam Pearce sat in his office, fuming over the recent developments that had unfolded before his eyes. He had seen McIntyre's confrontation with Aldis from a distance, and it only added fuel to the fire of his frustrations. As WWE senior official, Pearce was used to wielding power in his own way, but Aldis's presence had begun to make him feel obsolete. The call from Aldis came at a perfect moment. Pearce picked up his phone, his voice calm, yet laced with irritation. "Nick, what's going on? I saw McIntyre leave. Is he threatening to walk out?" Aldis let out a deep breath, running a hand through his hair. "Yes, he's furious. He's threatening to leave SmackDown if we don't make things right. He's tired of feeling like he's being held back." Pearce let out a low chuckle. "Well, that's McIntyre for you. Always the drama. But we can't let this fester. We need to find a way to get him back in line." Aldis's tone grew more serious. "I'm not sure how much longer we can hold this together, Adam. Drew isn't the only one who's unhappy. There are whispers, rumors. The roster is restless. If we don't fix this, it could spiral out of control." Pearce's voice dropped to a low whisper. "Then it's time for us to make a decision, Nick. You and I both know how this business works. We can't let one man dictate the direction of SmackDown. If Drew wants to leave, let him. We'll find someone else. And if the rest of the roster has issues, they'll learn who's in charge." Aldis paused, his mind churning. "I don't think it's that simple. If McIntyre walks out, we risk losing a huge part of SmackDown's appeal. We need to handle this with care." "Don't let him intimidate you, Nick," Pearce said firmly. "We've got this." As Aldis stood there, holding his phone, his thoughts raced. The path ahead was uncertain. Drew McIntyre was a powerful force, but the authority he and Pearce held was not something to be challenged lightly. It was clear that SmackDown's future was on the line. Whether McIntyre would walk away or fall in line, only time would tell. But one thing was for sure. This was a war that would define the future of WWE's blue brand.